Coronation Street's young character Betsy Swain lets out a blood-curdling scream, terrified for her safety during a dramatic car crash storyline, with a preview clip showing the instant a vehicle swerves toward her. A chilling preview reveals the split second when a fast-moving car races in Betsy Swain's direction as she cries out in fear on next week's Coronation Street. The teaser for Monday's installment captures the moment teenage Betsy leaves a tearful voicemail for her mother, Lisa Swain, before tragedy strikes. She's seen strolling through the car park by the precinct when suddenly a car appears and hurtles straight at her. The vehicle screeches as it races forward, right as Betsy insists to her mom that she's not going to die. What happens to her remains uncertain, as spoilers keep her outcome under wraps, though a trailer hints Lisa may soon uncover a devastating truth. Celebrating her birthday, Betsy drinks too much and sends a voice message to her potential crush, Dylan Wilson. After a heated argument with Lisa on her 18th, she storms off to enjoy the night with friends. However, Betsy ends up intoxicated and alone, wandering around Weatherfield, desperate for someone to confide in. Dylan ignores her message, leaving her heartbroken, especially as she's estranged from her mom on her special day. Eventually, Betsy decides to ring Lisa, but the call diverts straight to voicemail. She apologizes for their earlier fight, setting the stage for a dramatic fallout between the pair in the same episode. Betsy, trying to make amends, admits she regrets her earlier words. She tells her mother that although she recognizes her worries and overprotective nature, she sometimes wishes Lisa would give her some space. While speaking, Betsy doesn't notice the vehicle coming fast around the corner behind her and continues walking, still recording her message. It's only when she mentions her late mom Becky that the terrifying moment suddenly takes shape. She says to Lisa, "I know Mom passed away, but that doesn't mean the same thing will happen to me." Right then, the car screeches loudly and Betsy suddenly realizes she's in serious danger, whipping around to see the dark car coming at her. Throwing her arms up, she screams in sheer panic, convinced her life is in jeopardy. The footage cuts off there, leaving it uncertain whether she is struck or manages to escape. Betsy is shown pressed against the precinct's metal gates with nowhere left to run. Could this shocking scene be the reason Lisa looks so devastated in the recent trailer? Lisa is seen gasping, her face wet with tears and frozen in disbelief. But has she listened to Betsy's final voicemail, or is it another shocking revelation that leaves her shaken? Coronation Street villain Theo deceives his way back into Todd's world with a major fabrication. Earlier this week on Coronation Street, Todd Grimshaw stood up to Theo Silverton, but in tonight's installment, the manipulative abuser managed to worm his way back into Todd's life with more lies. On Monday, Theo left Todd shaken after unleashing a torrent of cruel insults before forcing him to eat kebab meat. Following the disturbing ordeal, Todd ignored Theo's attempts to contact him until Billy Mayhew persuaded him to at least listen. When Theo still refused to accept blame for his behavior, Todd demanded that he leave. In the latest episode, Theo tried once again to win Todd over, arriving with a box of crushed sweets in a bid to soften him. Todd, still furious, dismissed his excuses and stormed off. Later, at the cafe, Theo struck up a conversation with Billy and revealed that he was planning to see a therapist, though he begged the vicar not to share this with Todd. It wasn't long, however, before Todd coaxed the truth out of Billy, and for a brief moment he seemed moved by Theo's apparent attempt to seek help. Sadly, Theo never followed through on his plan. Instead of attending therapy, he joined Gary Windus at the pub. He confided to Gary that while he had intended to go, once he reached the tram stop, he realized he wasn't ready to pour out his feelings to a complete stranger. Theo admitted that if he began to talk, he might not be able to stop, and the subject would inevitably be Noah, something he was desperate to bury in the past. Instead, he and Gary headed into town, with Theo eventually returning to the Rovers, where he crossed paths with both Todd and Billy once more. As Billy quietly slipped away, Todd mentioned that he was aware Theo had attended therapy, prompting the builder to curse Billy for revealing the secret. When Todd admitted he admired Theo for seeking professional help, Theo immediately spotted a chance to win back favor and pretended he had actually gone through with the session. Hearing Todd express how proud he was, Theo leaned further into his manipulations, claiming he had given up everything, even his family ties, for Todd, and was now going to counseling for the sake of their relationship. He followed this up with an apology for his outburst earlier in the week, which led Todd to shoulder some responsibility too, saying sorry for what he believed was his part in the conflict. Back at home, Theo continued the deception when Todd asked about his supposed next session, while Todd carried on praising him. When George Shuttleworth came back and found them kissing, he remarked that they had clearly reconciled and seemed glad their romance was back on track. But with Theo faking his therapy visits, how long will it be before his manipulative side surfaces again? ITV Coronation Street actors delight viewers with a shared update outside of Weatherfield. Fans admitted the news brightened their day. Two Coronation Street favorites delighted viewers by sharing a joint social media update. Ryan Prescott, best known as Ryan Connor, teamed up with Mikey North, who plays Gary Windus, as the pair headed off on a trip to Vancouver. Posting on Instagram, Ryan uploaded a carousel of photos capturing their adventures in Canada. Alongside the snaps, he wrote, "Vancouver, thank you so much for having us. We loved every second." The first shot showed the soap duo enjoying the sunshine, followed by a series of pictures from their getaway, including sightseeing moments and mouth-watering brunches. Claire Sweeney, who plays Cassie Plummer, chimed in with a comment, "Fabulous," alongside a red heart emoji. It's no secret that Coronation Street has a huge global following, but Ryan and Mikey seem to attract their own Canadian fan base as hundreds of Corey enthusiasts flooded the comments with excitement. One thrilled follower said, "You were in my neighborhood. So glad you got to see how beautiful Vancouver is." Another urged, "Come to Montreal next." A different fan added, "Seeing you in Victoria was amazing. I hope you loved your time in Canada." Someone else wrote, "It was honestly a highlight of my life to spot you both here. Hope you enjoyed our city." Many Corey watchers were also overjoyed to see the pair relaxing together away from Weatherfield. One gushed, "The two of you on holiday together has made my day." Another joked, "Gary and Ryan," with a heart eyes emoji. The Instagram post quickly attracted likes from a host of Coronation Street co-stars, among them Tina O'Brien, Jack P. Shepard, and Vicky Myers. While Ryan Prescott and Mikey North were enjoying a peaceful getaway, their soap characters were experiencing far more turmoil back in Weatherfield. Gary Windus has recently been caught up in major drama following the arrival of Mick and Lou Michaelis. Gary was left at the center of a shocking scandal that resulted in him being rushed to hospital. The troublesome neighbors have now departed the cobbles for good, but not before leaving chaos in their wake. Mick ultimately landed in prison after fatally attacking fan favorite Craig Tinker in devastating scenes earlier this year. Ryan Connor's on-screen journey has been slightly more hopeful. Earlier this week, fans were left in tears when Carla Connor and Lisa Swain finally got engaged. The couple recently bought a property on Coronation Street, marking history as the soap's first same-sex pair to own a home together. They moved into number 6 following Yasmin Nazir's departure earlier in the year. Carla was particularly moved when Lisa asked Ryan to move in with them last month, giving him a place to call home. Coronation Street continues on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available on ITVX.